today is a day where I'll first show you around the new things that were added in Spine, and then I'll start making art for an RPG, for assets for RPGs. So it will be tiny heroes, and we'll also make portraits, but this time it will be just the tiny heroes. Hi, Mr. Hoot PSVG. So, you may be familiar with the beta version, and I wanted to, since this is going to be mostly an art stream after I'll show you around, I wanted to at least show you what's new. So it's very exciting actually, so we'll just go to the usual export settings in here, and you can see that now, while earlier we had some options here, we now also have Apng, which is a format that it's an old format, like it's been around, and it's actually Chrome, Firefox, and the major browsers all can read Apngs, which is basically like a GIF or GIF, depends on how people say it. Yeah, Nate. But it also encloses the beauty of the PNGs, so perfect alpha, as well as, I'll change on that, as well as more colors than the GIF or GIF export could allow. So that's great news, but it also may mean that your export is bigger or heavier, but you know, perfect colors, we want that. So there's this. There's also a PSD export, which is completely brand new, which is mostly for those people that prefer to, I don't know, import their animations in software like After Effects. So you want a sequence that you can import in any other program that reads PSD, and it's basically a sequence of images that you can later build as a GIF in Photoshop or whatever program you want that can read PSDs. So that's it. It will be flat images. Then the video can export also audio, as you can see specified here. You can decide to include or not include audio, but the most exciting part for me is the fact that we have GIFs. I'm already bumping on the microphone, I'm sorry. So, and you can choose, there's a lot of options, so I'll go briefly through the options that we have here, and then I'll go and do something else. So, as always, you can choose to just export one frame or multiple frames, so that's what export type does. Then you can choose the animations. For example, here we have the raptor. I'm going to export a walk, so I selected a walk, but if I wanted, I could even decide to export all the animations. And for example, for those of you that want to build your reel, if you decide to export through the AVI export or MOV, yeah, I prefer MOV because you can have transparent background and it's better in that sense. You can also decide to have the same animation repeat for a given number of times that you want, that you can set, and also have a pause after the animation repeats. Like for example, when a character dies and you didn't leave enough frames after the death, this way we'll hold the pose for a little longer, which is very cool. Sorry for jumping from settings to setting. But anyway, that's what animation repeat does. Then output file is the same as always. Then we have the effect, and the pause is the same as the one in the video. You can decide to render bonus images, others, and that's something that we already had. But now we also have linear filtering, and this very brand new preview button. Chains? What? Hi, finally catching a stream again. Hi, Chronozilla. So here's the magical preview panel that we have now. So it now says which was highly requested, at least by me. Like, now we have control, we have the power to the people. In fact, we know how big something is. Like, I'm more excited about this, the proudly natives, because I really wanted these kind of features into Spine under here. So here's the final size of the animation, and you also see how big it is on the export. Yeah, it's great to finally be able to set the region of the export. Yes, that's another thing. So let's go in slightly order. So you can decide to resize based on scaling. So you can make this 50% of the actual size, and you see here resizing. Or, and that's something I wanted, you can fit this within some boundaries. So for example, if you export for Twitter or some social media, you want to export your progress, or you just want to know, you want something to stay within some boundaries, then you want this. For example, I often export GIFs at 500 pixels. That's pixels, by the way. We never specify, but it's always pixels. And this way it will fit your animation within these boundaries. So that's why you may see 484. That's because it's not a perfect square, but we can make it in a perfect square if we want. Alright, new stuff. Good to be back in the streams again. Hi Kay. Hey 2K. Hello Mutsa. Okay, that's the hi bacon. Hi to all. So let me resume with this so I can give you more of a tour. So we said that we can now specify and we can decide to enlarge this. If, for example, your animation was smaller than this, you can enlarge this to fit at least one of the angles. Then we have these very advanced options that I will never use because I'm fine with the way it exports at the moment, which are, you can specify the number of colors. So for example, if you have a character with just 4 colors and you work with pixel art, you can finally specify that. Also the dithering, that's something I actually use because if you have some transparency, now the Raptor doesn't have much transparency, but we can play with dithering anyway. That's the amount of pixelated things that you'll see. I'm sorry. I could have a better lexicon. Anyway, yeah, it's this, and you can also specify the threshold for alpha. I'll actually leave them as they are. And the dithering, so for example on the candles of our Musi that was in the other project, yeah, I'll open it. Let me get that. What is this? So give me a second, unless, no, I'll search for it here. Like, I wanted to use Raptor. Anyway, it means that you can specify the amount of pixels that you see, for example, when you have that nice halo around your character. It's not going to show the ugly white border that you might remember, but it's going to be perfect. So that's something I love, personally. You can decide to have a transparent background or specify a color that you want. Let's say red. Yeah, programmers red, if you know what I mean, artists. So, yeah, you can have whatever you want. I'll go back to transform because I love that. Then you can also lower the quality, and that's something you may be familiar with. FPS, you can specify the FPS, and another nice thing is that it also specifies how many seconds per frame there are. For those of you that requested it, because I remember it was requested, you can also decide to play something forever or just once. I don't know who would want it to play just once, but you have the option. Then include last frame. If you remember, when you do your spine animations and you do a loop, then you have the first and last frame that are the same. When you export a GIF, you're going to have double the same frame at the end and the beginning, which was a problem that we had. But now you can decide to include or skip the last frame. So by default it is deselected, but if you have a kind of animation that is not looping, then this is the setting for you to include that last frame. So that's it. What do we have under the dimensions menu? I'm going there. I love that one. But then we also have this option. That's something to finally open what you're exporting, which was missing. So that's cool. Then we also have, and here let's go around the preview view, which is basically like the preview panel that we had here. So you can move around, you can zoom in, out, you know, these controls should be familiar. Then you can scrub through the frames of your GIF or GIF. I don't know how to pronunciate it, because the guy who made GIFs said you have to pronunciate GIF, but I feel like it should be pronounced GIF. Anyway, so you can skip to whatever frame you want, even preview the whole animation will be rendered on the fly. Then, for example, let's change to jump, and you see here that it was resized to the actual size of the animation, but since I selected size fit within 500 here, you can see that the animation actually got smaller because it had to fit within and it was larger on this side. Anyway, we can also select the range of frames that we want to export. So for example, we can skip these first frames and have it jump from here. So I can specify here from 3 to here. And for example, export a tiny loop or a tiny piece of animation. Now you can do it. So that's it. No more transparent square images. Yay! Now, forward. We also have the crop option. So yeah, I'll deactivate range because I didn't really need it. Crop is my favorite thing. So you can move it around like this. You click at the center or anywhere here, and then it will auto center for you, okay? Then through these red angles, you can resize this. And as said, now it will resize it for you so that it keeps fitting within the square that I established for it. But I could also, for example, set the crop dimensions manually. Say I go to scale, so it goes back to the original size. Then here I want to manually create a square, so I'll enter these so that I have the precise dimensions. Imagine exporting, for example, for a video, and then you can have your fit that you want to your animation that you want to fit within a certain proportions, and then you can import it or export it. Yeah, export it to import it in your favorite video editing software, already in the right dimensions, and no more huge videos or GIFs or PNG sequences that are way too big and that you're going to use only as small portions. So now that's something that you can do. So for example, we can only export his beautiful face. I'll go to fit again because I like it. So that kind of portrait, that's something that you can export now. Of course, to export you just have to click export here after specifying an output path. So that's it for the GIF section. PNG didn't change much. You can though already decide to pack from here and establish the settings, so that's new as well. Then yeah, nothing changed much here. I guess also Json has the new option to clean up your animation automatically when you export from the keys. Remember these? So for example, we go to animate mode, and you'd want to clean up your animations after you create them. to remove all the unnecessary keys that you might have created. Now, instead of having to do it for every animation that you have, you can finally just select this option here and it will be cleaned up for you on all the animations, which is beautiful. I love that. Of course, you can select pretty print as always, etc. Same here on the binary export. Then let's go to APNG. So in APNG, I love this. I didn't know about this format before Nate decided to implement it, but as said, it's basically PNGs, but in a sequence. And the nice thing is that if a browser supports it, you're going to see the animations. But if it doesn't support it, you'll just see the static image. So for your websites, that's great. Like, it's like exporting a basic PNG, and I like it. You can also establish the compression, FPS, and everything else. You can have the preview and cut it as you want. Of course, you don't have the GIF settings because it's going to use all the colors that it needs and have great alpha, and I really like it. I like this one. Does it still keep the keys in the spine project if you select that option? Yes, because it's just going to clean them up for the export. At least, yeah, that should be like this, because I'm pretty sure it stays like that in the editor, so you can have whatever you want, like keys in the beginning, keys in the end, keys in the middle, but then when you export, it's going to be pretty, so, and light, awesome, yeah. Then we have PSD, as said, it's going, you can also choose the encoding, so Z is elite, raw, etc. And it tells you what the encoding does, and you can specify compression, etc. So that's nice. I don't think I'm personally going to use it, but for those of you that use it, that should make you happy. Then JPEG is basically the same, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I've never used JPEG actually. Then we have AVI. Personally, I don't use AVI because it lacks transparency, so my favorite one instead is MOV. And here as well, as said, we have the animation repeat, the pause, and then linear filtering. I forgot to show you linear filtering. So that's it with the linear filtering and without. So you have a tiny bit of linear filtering. It works. Okay, I'm satisfied that I showed you. Then here we can also get it to fit, what is that? Forgot the proportion, it's probably this. So like this, we can do it that way and also have it here. I'm playing with this. Okay, so I'm making sure that this has that cinematic size. It's right? I guess it is. Or it was maybe got them wrong. Oh, that looks better. And then here I'm going to change it like that, so very film-like. And you can have beautiful gray background, perfect for reels, for example. And then MOV exports transparent videos, which if you're a streamer, you can use in OBS or whatever program you want. If you're using it for other purposes, you finally have animation repeat. So for example, if you ever use this in After Effects, you probably suffered my same pain of having to repeat the same sequence, maybe a very brief sequence, a ton of times because it was just a tiny loop. Now you can make it as long as you want, which is beautiful. Then here you also have the option to include or exclude the last frame. And that's it for the export. Another thing that was added is the stretchy eye key. So So let's have a brief look at that. Go back in setup mode, and I forgot where it is. Yeah, I have to go in the I key, so we can decide to have the bending and then make it stretchy. So let's look at that. It means that you can do these, which is kind of cool. Well, here you have one that doesn't do that. The target won't be followed as much. So that's useful for those of you that use squash and stretch a lot. Man, it looks amazing. And yeah, we have stretchy keys now, which is cool. So whenever you go beyond the amount your leg should go, it will really stretch forward to reach that. So that's it. Yeah, it's cool. Let's see if I forgot something, because knowing me, I might have forgotten. So let me go to the change log. Anyway, these were the main changes that were done. So you can have a look at the changes too here. We also have new releases, advanced quality options for this. Okay. Then API, yeah, guess I got about almost everything. Yeah, and oh, backface calling, that's also something new and interesting. It means that if something, if I'll try to show you. For example, yeah, we have the mesh. Actually, haven't used that yet. I just saw how it works. So let's search for that option here. I'll go in the views, mesh tool, weights. Why not open weights? Okay, I have it there. Backface calling. Okay, I'll have to search for that because I didn't come prepared. New. Anyway, it's a setting that I have to search for. I'm sorry. That allows you, when something is facing like this way, to hide that part of the mesh. It should have been here, but I don't see it. Well, I'll update you next time, maybe. I was fiddling in Unity. Too bad. Next time, I'll probably do a project in backface calling, so to make up for me not knowing now. Trini, should we thank you for a PNG supporting in Spine? Oh, why? Were you the one that requested it? I missed that part. And yeah, so that's it. And now I'll go back to doing the art stream. So, but I really wanted to show up this because I find it very exciting. What's the difference between PNG and APNG? Yeah, as said, PNG. Oh, let me open something here. So, do I have the browser here? Yeah, without bumping the microphone maybe. I'll show you. Basically, PNG. Let's go. Why am I so messy? Raptor. I exported a raptor. Yeah, a raptor which I called Raptor. Yeah, I'll show you here. So I have this raptor PNG, okay? And if I double click on this, since the default Windows reader of images doesn't read APNGs, what you see is this, which is what I was mentioning earlier. But if I open it in the browser, what I'll see is this. This is the exact same image, but it is saved with the animation within, so it can be called APNG, but also PNG. At least I've been exporting it as standard PNG, and that's what it is. It's basically a GIF, an animated PNG. It's a GIF, but with more colors and a great alpha. It's just random and so awesomeness. Yeah, I think Nate implemented it just because it was easy to do, probably. Or so he said. Then, so I hope this answers your questions. I guess the only browser that doesn't read APNGs is Internet Explorer, or Edge. But what would you expect out of Edge? But all the other major browsers all read APNGs, so you could consider it for your portfolios or to pass around higher quality GIFs. Let's see. Is it possible to request a video tutorial of how to integrate Spine 2D within Unreal Engine 4? I'm sorry, I never used it. We have to ask Mario, maybe he will. I tried multiple times to set up a project with runtime documentation, but never seemed to work, thanks. Well, I'll ask Mario, okay? Wait, that is so great and helpful. Great. Regular GIFs are so pale and sometimes jump some frames. Yeah, but with the new exporter, you should really give new GIFs a try because they don't flicker anymore like the old GIFs exporter in Spine did. But they're nice. Oh, I have a confrontation actually here. Confrontation? Let me open this. So that's instead the GIF here that we have. I should have opened it in another tab so that you could still see that. And this, I don't know if it's the new or the old, but basically it's good enough now. That's what I wanted to say. It's not much of a difference across these various it's just the subtleties that you can now control, which is great. So that's it. I guess, yeah, I answered everything. Yeah, I did. So now I'll go to the art stream. So what we're going to do now, unless you have other questions, of course you can always ask questions, so don't worry. I'll close Spine for now. Discard changes. And I'll be doing something which is an art park, assets park, for RPGs. So we'll make the tiny guys of the RPGs and we'll make them something that you can customize. So and we'll do some basic assets that anyone can use and also portraits. So this will be great for you if you want to do your own thing, or if you're a programmer, you'll be able to use these while you wait for your assets, final assets from your artists, or you can use it for some projects, tiny projects. So that's the aim of this. It will be a rather longer project that we've been doing in streams lately, so it will have more customizations options and it will probably take more time, but I think it will be worth it. So this will be the first video about it, and I'll explain what I've done until now. I've just done some research and sketches. So I thought about the proportions here and colors. Yeah, that's the very first sketch. Here's another sketch. So that's our basic guy, which could have these proportions here, which are meant to be seen well also when you see them tiny. So that's something that we want to have in mind, but also in a bigger version of them. That's something we'll keep in mind. Here's a skeleton, because everybody needs a skeleton. Everybody has a skeleton in their closet. And oh yeah, here's the soldier that I was making. Other skins, other options. Yeah, very quick Yeah, Nate told me that I never do something that is not cute, so here's something not cute with those proportions for him. Hi Nate. And color palette. So, since I have sketches, and that's something you may be at too, let's get this idea to something that will be later important in spine and so on. So, okay, I'm pretty satisfied with this. I'll probably refine this some more. Anyway, I'll try to get the basic shape of the guy here. Yeah, I'll explain some more. So I think that I'll be dividing this character for animation in spine like this. Yeah, let's use a random color like this, and I'll use this to divide the various pieces. So of course we'll have the head. Okay, so of course we'll have the head, which will be one piece. Okay, and we'll have the neck. Maybe I won't export the neck. I'm not sure about that. Maybe we won't have the neck, but for sure we'll have the body, which is another piece. And we'll have the upper, lower arm, and the hand, which is something very basic that you for sure, if you're going to do your character, are going to have in your project. And then here we'll have upper and lower leg and foot. Foot actually might be just a part of the leg, because I really love chibis that don't have foot but they have these tiny things, so maybe that will be the case. Then something we might want to do, we'll probably do it because we can, is adding a control here on the face to make it turn slightly in that 2.5D style that we like, at least I like. And this will be the main pieces. So having less pieces means that we can customize more. And of course we'll have separate pieces for the eyes, for the brows, for the mouth, for the ears, because the ears are separated, and that will make our basic character. So that's it. A funny face. And I'll start by doing the guy as if he had no hair and his head. So that's the plan. I'll create a new folder. For now I have all these various layers that have no name because I was just sketching, but when I'll finish I'll have a perfectly organized Photoshop folder project. So that's the idea. And now I can finally start asking, how was your day, since I finished explaining my part. Today is another super hot day, and I hope that my computer won't crash like it did some times earlier, but we'll have to see. And I'll select this color. Color panel went that way. And there it is. Okay, yeah, why don't you select the color that I want? Thanks. So I'll do that, but I'll move everything after the sketches here so I can see it clearly. I swear I didn't hit the mute button. It's on the other screen. But as a matter of fact, I was muted. How did it happen? How have you been, Kronza, by the way? I transform. And I'll move this down. Okay. You have wings. Okay. And then I wanted to have a single piece out of this. So I might do it like this. Let's check. Yeah. So I'll merge these two ellipses into one. Merge shapes like this, and then I'll go here, select the two shapes, and then merge shapes components, yes. And then I'll remove the unnecessary points, which are one here. Let's see. If only it was easier to do this part. It's not perfectly straight. I want a stand desk too. Still thinking about that. So I have to change this here. Change it to here. Okay. No, I'll do it in another way. So I have my basic face now, and I'll use these. Probably better have it in white. By the way, next week there won't be a stream. So Mario will in fact give a talk at the game that days. Although I don't believe it when I see him here. Yeah, he's going to do it. He'll be there in Graz. I still haven't asked him if I can crash so that I can come and say hi. So I might not be there that time. Alright. So that I'll start using the merge tag here. And I'll call this head base. It's just going to be probably the same across all skins. this. Then, yeah, colors, beautiful colors. I'll also create a folder for this. What? Search group. And then I'll add a color over here. I wanted to change the color very quickly with this. How do I do with that though? I regret not using a shape for this. Thinking I'll probably call this layer skin color. Oh, we could actually do something. No. So I want this to be flexible. Maybe yes. I could do it this way. So we could have a shape like this. I've never used this technique here on stream, but I've used it in the past to do things. So this will be my square for the skin color, and I can make a copy of this, duplicate the layer so that I have another one ready, and I'll deactivate that. Then I'll change this, or rather I'll double click, set this color as skin color for example, and I'll change this to a smart object. Then I'll duplicate this layer here, I'll take it out, and I'll save a copy of this skin color, and I'll use various copies of this to control the colors overall. That's the idea. So I'll create a clipping mask, transform, I'll move it here, and I'll cover the drawing completely like this, and then save. Yeah, it can work. Then this is useless. So then we can also have the slot with the mouths. And inside have the various mouths. For example, this will be mouth closed. Or we could also do the basic mouth shapes that are used for animation, for example. Which were in rhubarb. So right now I'm going to draw the various mouths for lip sync. From here, I'll let you see. So I'm on the rhubarb page that has a nice integration for spine, and I'm going to create the necessary mouths for maybe doing lip sync in some other video. So we'll need a close, slightly open. Yeah, I'll call this with the right names too. So mouth A. Where is it? Okay, here. So I'll need these. Slightly open with clenched teeth. Okay, so this will be mouth A. Ooh, so small. Yeah, I haven't set yet for a like this huge. Could make it smaller. Nice. So this could be first mouth. I'll do the mouths later though. I want to have all the major elements first. Then slot for the nose. Or I could just have here outside the nose, which could be just a tiny point like this, or it could be made with the color. So I could create, do it like this. How is it done? Two. So I'm doing this, but I might want to control the colors with a palette, which I'm going to let the user decide. For example, skin color. I'll create a group. Swatches. Control. I'll also add an ignore tag so that we have it in here, but it's not going to disturb us. Also make this smaller. Okay. Then I also add some text, like this is the skin face. I have tons of fonts. I'll just use this. Or even smaller. Okay, so that I know what it is. Hi, Socks Brooker. And that's it. So we have this. Oh, I also missed the Dice Goddess. Hi. Sorry for not saying hi. I just noticed the red text that I had here in the chat room. Ah, so hot. So I'll be right back, cause I finished the water. I only just got here, it's alright. I'll be right back. So give me a second. And I'm back. Okay. So, got a reason about how to do the basic things. What was I doing? I already forgot. Hi, Pakisators. Hey, Erika. Oh, wait. What sort of evil thing are we making? Hi. Hi, Nate. Nate, you missed the part where I was showing up the editor and the export. People were very happy. But I was the most happy, actually. Quick questions for when you're back. I made a local transform constraint that should copy all parameters 100%. It doesn't seem to copy the skew though. Sorry. You had pasta. That's great. You're getting love. Regarding your question, you made a transform constraint and you want to copy skew. Should it copy skew? I don't think it should. Let me check. Blue cheese pasta. I had blue cheese gnocchi the other day, so I'm not jealous. In September we have the blue cheese fair here. About that, so I'm opening Spine again and I'm having a look at what you're asking. So let's say we make a transform constraint, new transform constraint, because there's, oh yeah, no, we don't have one. Or yes, this is an a key, no, so we have no transform constraints here. I'll create one on the fly. New transform constraint. Let's select these, yes. Yeah, it should copy the shear. The art is awesome. Yeah, it's the art from the basic projects from Spine. It does copy skew. Turn up all the sliders at least. So let's say I'll select local and then take up all the sliders. But I didn't check match, so I'm matching them. Now it's doing this, and if I shear this, yeah, it's shearing. It's doing it only one direction. No, it's working. What's working? I just made this. Couldn't turn off skew, do it manually, but it loses part of the point of automating things. Constraint applied later can cause the previous constraint changes to be lost. Yeah, that's also true. So, for example, I probably broke something here. No, in this case, I don't think I did. But you can reorder the constraints here, as you can see by the tiny arrows that we have, and have a constraint applied before or after the others. So maybe it's a problem of constraint order. Anyway, given that it's working and it's probably a problem of constraints order, I'll discard these changes and I'll go back to the art that I was making here. And to show to Nate, look at these. It's not cute, and I was thinking of you while doing this. Where is it? So we have a vampire, a macho guy, but most importantly, Nosferatu. So you can say that this is cute. For once, I did something that it's not cute. The other parameters work though, so how can it be because of the order? I'll try moving things around though, thanks. At least I know it should work. Yeah, it should work. Everybody needs a Nosferatu skin. So, as said, I did some sketches And now I was refining this. Now having in mind, is this at 100% opacity? Yes, it is. Having in mind that someone who uses this might want to create their personalized skin. Maybe they want to change the skin color to what they want. So I've prepared a smart object here so that one can double click this, for example like this, and select a brand new skin color, save, and have the skin of the guy change. So that's the idea. I'll resave so that it goes back to normal. And bad news, it's pretty cute. No! I can never do something that it's not cute. Am I doomed? I don't even know probably how to do something. No, that wasn't cute. And now let me go back to this. So I was starting to create the various parts. As said, no, I've lost that one. Oh, we'll have these pieces, so very simple pieces. And this character is going to face down and face left and right and face up. So it's going to have these directions. And then we'll also make the same customization that we have here for a portrait version of this. You know, the talking characters that one might have, something like, that red. It's like something else. Like this that says, hey, yeah. And then it has some text here in the corner. And there's, yeah, this dimension. It's basically me in the corner. I should just stay like here. And then here have some RPG text. So like that, we're going to do that as well, but not in this stream, I guess. It's kind of cute. Yeah, I can't escape this. I'm doomed. I'm sorry. I'll try to at least make it more Japanese, since it's RPG. RPGs are a main Japanese thing, isn't it? Hi, C. Marcus. Finally made it to the live stream. And you missed this fun part. I'm sorry. So, here it is. And I repeat it again. Next week, we won't have a stream, okay? But the week after that, we will. So don't worry. Now again, yeah, first get down these parts in flat shapes, but this time I'll add some more colors like I did for the movie that we had. Yeah, I finally made it. Oh no, okay, maybe like this. Okay, let's see what it is. I'll trust you on opening this link. Oh! That's from a video game, and that's something I drew, by the way. Yeah, on a t-shirt. Where? Fun part is over. No, it's not okay. Oh my. Yeah, we can have that. No, but not with this. What with this kind of? How can we do this? Relative copied the shear, but doesn't. That sentence doesn't make sense. So I'll do the ears very quickly. Yeah, with this mouth, nose. Oh, it's doing. Oh no, I have to change brush to this. Yeah. I'll change also my settings so that the smoothing is massive. And then delete this part. Okay. I will end up with at least a skin that you can say that it's cute. I'll make a dwarf if I have to. Which, yeah, people love. Like the one in Lord of the Rings or something, so that it's not cute. What is that smoothness thing? Ah, that's Lazy Nezumi. It's a tool that you can use in Photoshop or whatever you want, even Paint, and it makes everything super smooth. I'll show you like this. Well, when I don't use it, it's lamer, so it makes it so that I don't have to redraw the same thing over and over again, but it's already nice and clean. Dwarfs can't be cute? Yeah, some dwarfs are cute. I promise that dwarf won't look cute. I'll try. I don't know. So much pressure. So I was trying to add the body. Okay, I had an ear. I'm going to reflect it and place it on the other side. Right now I'm just creating the basic pieces for this. I could do it this way, or I could, no, I'll do that way. Oh, I did it better before, but I pressed cancel. Stupid me. So it could be like this, but then it wouldn't fit. If I had a girl skin, it would need to be something like this instead. Oh, that was actually almost fine. Huh. Little people get no respect. What? I'm a little people. I'm a little person. Erika, now that you're working on game assets, could you cover shared atlases down the line? Shared atlases. Like clothes or effects for attacks and stuff? Okay, let me reread the sentence. Suggestion for stuff you'd like to see on the stream is always welcome. Yeah, of course it is. Now that you're working on game assets, could you cover shared atlases? Clothes, effects for attacks and stuff. Like, do you mean like some old streams that we had about some effects? Or could you elaborate more on what you mean? Sorry. So what was I doing? I'll redo that again. It's more potato-like, that one. I'll do it on a new layer. I'll get rid of the old one if I have to. There. No. Okay, I'll do it with shapes because, yes. Bad idea. That struggle to want to do something as a mirror, but then you fail. Oh, you haven't seen my skeleton. The skeleton is not cute. Where is it? I'll show you my skeleton. Ah, it was in here. Can you say it's cute? It's not cute. This is just scientific, maybe. I was rereading the chat room, no news. Okay, also the things are placed in a decent way here. Giving a hug. No! It's not cute! Please! It will be an enemy. I'll make him an enemy. You'll be able to play with that skeleton. Just so you know it. And it won't be, you won't find it that cute. I've lost what yeah, it was, no. I can get rid of this. Okay. Okay, so my skeleton, my boy. I can do things that are not cute. Okay, so I resumed making this. This could be a leg, but it's slightly too big. Oh, like this. Yeah, so this can be our basic leg. So something that you could remember when you're doing joints is to try and have here the angles that are at least very, very round, so that you can place later the joints in the middle of this. Get them. So for example, here I'm clicking, and on here I'm smoothing out this, so that I have the pivot that I can place exactly in the middle, or pivot like Nate says, or English people say. Okay, so I have this, and then I'll have a bigger version here. Okay, so that it's the same size. And then I'll create a new layer, lower the opacity of this. Ah, yeah, it's not working. I'll turn that off. So it's trying to smooth everything out. I'm on the wrong layer, so it's not like it wasn't working. Okay. I'm sorry, I meant elements different characters share that are exported to a single atlas, like weapons or armor. Hope that makes sense. Yes, it does. Yeah, actually I was thinking for this character specifically to make make some sketches. So you can tell me what you think about that. I was thinking to have for sure an archer, so someone that will use this, then someone that will have a how it's called, a sword, so warrior. Then we'll have someone that will use daggers, so thief class probably. And then we'll have a mage, so someone with some of this cool stuff that can launch and convert people. And this will be at least 4 weapons that we'll have. And then we can have variations, we can add variations to these. And of course, if we want, we can also export as separate assets. Yeah, I could dedicate a stream to exporting to different atlases. So what your question is, that you want to see them exported as separate atlases, or is it that you simply want to see them being covered in a stream, like generically? That's what's not yet clear. Okay, so that's weapons. Also, I definitely want to do more VFX, so generic things like flashes, attacks, explosions, etc. and things like that. So we'll do that definitely. I'm not sure when, but we'll definitely do that when we finish this guy first, a new portrait. So it will be like in a couple months, because I expect this to take at least those 3-4 streams to make, since it's going to be a bigger project. What was I doing? Ah, yeah, I was doing this. I think he wants to see many characters in one atlas. It makes sense. I would like to see how exporting different atlases works. I'm working on animating for a game, so that would be nice. Yeah, we can definitely do it. Yeah, of course. Greetings, chat. Hi, Toto. How are you all? Toto is asking. And I also ask you this question if you want to tell me about your day. Like, it's supposed to rain today, and I would gladly accept the rain because it's very hot. but it hasn't rained yet instead. Oh, also here. So, but that would be cool too. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. If you want to see how packing export work, you know what? I can show you now, because we don't need to have an art stream. Oh, what am I doing? I'm saving the page instead. I'll show you how packing works right now if you want, because it's actually fairly easy and it may be useful for future reference. So here it is. I'll be opening Spine again and I'll show you how it works. Water. So I'm opening I'm also always in beta. So here, move it here. Great. So we'll have to do a couple things. I'll prepare. Yeah, art stream's boring. No, Fabiano. And not at all cute. Yeah. Just came for a nice trip to Poland with a lot of lovely people. You know, I'm half Polish. So I hope you had a great time. So yeah, I'll go to the Spine folder where we have the goblins, and I'm going to open the goblins. Where are they? So I'll go to my Spine installation folder, Spine, and then I'll let you see what I'm doing. I'll go to the examples, so you can see too that I have my examples here. Here I have the Goblins project. I already did some mischievous things in here. So I'll copy this, and then I'll paste it to some place on my computer that I have yet to decide. Okay, I decided very quickly. Just to keep a messy organization. Yeah. I slapped it on my e-volume. Let's open meshes here. And here we already have an export folder, but I'll get rid of that. Polish family is great. We drink a lot of tea, which I'm missing here, but soon as I'll be in the new home, I'll be able to make as much tea as I want, and that will be amazing. So, did my computer get blocked? Yes. I can't move things around. Ah, okay. It needed the magic touch of my pen. So here it is. Export. Yeah, here it's the export. I'll just empty it. Buys. Then, so I'll use Goblin's Mesh, okay? If you have Spine and you would like, you can repeat these steps with me so that you're following along. You have to get this project from your Spine installation folder, and we'll export the Goblin skin. Then we'll have the girl skin, and then we'll have a separate, yeah, in the atlas. And then we'll have a separate atlas just for weapon, okay? Okay, so let me know when you're ready, when you've copied your version of the goblins here, and I'll show you. So, as said, I've emptied the export folder, so I really don't need these because I made it randomly. And if you have the same situation that I have on the computer, okay, that's great, you're ready. You should have a pack JSON in here that was created, I guess, by Soren. And here you should just have the images and not a pack JSON, right? So let's open the pack JSON and see what's inside, okay? I just opened my text editor and I had something stupid in it, so I smiled, so you know why I'm laughing without a reason. Here it is. So the pack JSON settings can be very easy, such as this. just have you can open it with your text editor. I'm using Sublime Text, but you can use the Notepad or whatever. And here we have combine subdirectories true, which means that if we export now, we'll have everything into a single atlas. I guess we don't need this. So what we'll do now instead is, let me open the, it's here. So I'll go on the user guide of Spine. I can open Spine weights, whatever. And I'll go in the export section because, you know, nobody, especially me, remembers everything by heart. So I know that in the user guide page, we have this beautiful cheat sheet on how to do things. So I'll go on the texture packing setting. And here we have an example. Oh, yeah, and that's, you can get the same explanation of this right here. But here is a JSON configuration that you can have. So there's a lot that you can stuff in there. And you can decide to ignore a subfolder. So just for the fun of it, we could, yeah, I know what I'll do. I'll go and get some Moo pictures and shove them in here. Where is my Moo? Which is not mine, but it's my at heart. Didn't I just open a new folder? Let's see. Want to explore more files? Yes. Oh, my private files, yes. Let's go, and I have a secret folder of Moo pictures, and I'm going to get that to place inside. So let's see my Spine related Moo. Oh, that's it, yes. There's less Moo pictures than I thought. So I'll do that. This. I just have, okay, I can have these 4 pictures here. I'll copy them and I'll paste them in here. I'll also let you see the cute Moo for your entertainment. Oh, you had Moo pictures too. I bet you do. So I have this beauty here. Why did I save this picture? I don't know. Here, oh, look at that face. Here, another one like this, and it's so cute. And then this here where she's being cuddled. So we have this, and of course while we're working on Spine we want to look at the Moo pictures, but we can't export that in an atlas. So what we're going to do is we'll modify this pack JSON so that it will ignore this, and we'll do it like that. So where's it? Here. Right, so instead of combine subdirectories true, I replace this by copying and pasting this ignore true. I could write it by hand, but just paste it. Yeah, it's fine. Ignore true, yes, save. So then I'll get these, where is it? So it's very easy and I'm using a lot of time to do it, but what I'll do is I'll move this into the Moo folder here. So this is the one that has ignore true in it. So this won't be exported, but we have it for our pleasure. Let's add also the pictures that Nate is, I missed this from the collection. What's your puppy in this? I'll save this. Yeah, in my downloads. I'll get it in the Moo section. Or no, I'll save it here for later in a messy place. Thanks for sharing new Moo pictures. Let's see the other one. Whoa! So nice. I missed this one wasn't in my collection yet. So we also have these 2 new pictures, but for now we'll keep just those. And we'll create some other pack settings. so that I can do it directly from Spine in here. Let me check a thing though first. So I have to go here and give me a second, because I remember doing this once. It was in here. Great. Okay. There's wind, and this thing that I have behind me was being taken by the wind. Okay, sorry. It was falling almost on me. We don't want that. And I'll open this in here. Okay, yeah, I know what to do. So we'll go in the export section, and we'll select the Atlas exports that we want. Now I'm in the beta version. So I'll go in Json, yeah, texture Atlas pack, yeah. So I'll select pack first, and then I'll choose the settings. Let's see. So settings here are the same as always, except for the fact that the bicubic here, it's new. Nearest bicubic, nice. Was added. And then there's also the new divisible by 4 that was added. That wasn't here before. Everything else stayed the same, as far as I recall. So we'll do the settings that we want. For example, we decide that we want something in a square or in a power of 2. I'll just select the square because I want something in a square. Then max width, this is fine. We can scale it, for example, at the scale that we need. I'll set it to half the size that we have now. So basically what you're doing is you're setting the project as you normally would to be exported, but then instead of exporting, you're saving these settings. So you click on the save settings here, okay? So I'll go on, I guess it's this goblins. I hope it is. Yes, it is. So, and I'll call this pack.json. Okay. So, and I'll save it in the images section like this. And now that I have my settings, I'll just show you what was saved, because you can even edit it with your own. Oh, okay, it's here. Here it is. So we have the pack.json here, and we'll open it here. So we have these, all the settings that were saved automatically for Spine, from Spine for us. So what we'll do, we'll copy this and then we'll paste it in Goblin. Oh, that's okay. I know what happened. I had that one open already. So here it is. More pack.json here, Goblin Girl, and I'll paste it here. And then this one should be the right one. Let me check, because I'm not sure of anything anymore. Yeah, okay, so I'll copy this, and just to be sure, I replace it and replace it again. Great. So we did all of these things, all right, and at this point we can click OK, and we can use the texture packer. So we can export the JSON as we normally would without the texture atlas, But what we're going to do is we'll use texture packer here, and we'll go to how do we call this atlas? We'll call this goblins, yeah, and we'll have to set an input folder and output folder. So input folder, yeah, not example spine boy, but let me go to my very secret that everybody already saw, personal files, and I'll select the goblins. Actually, the most embarrassing thing is the amount of stuff I placed without organization in here. Anyway, so I'll select, let me close here so you can see. I'll select the images folder as the input folder. Then I'll select this export folder as the export folder, and then I'll press pack. Okay, it did. Oh, we had an error because the eyes closed has already been packed. Okay. Shouldn't be a major problem. Okay. And if I go to export, yes, I have one atlas file that defines that we have perfectly squared objects, and we have one skin for the goblins, one skin for the other goblin female, and another skin, why do I call it skins? Another atlas page for the weapons here. And that's because we placed a separate pack setting for all of them. If instead I want to have the weapons and then the goblins as a in the same atlas, I'm back from dinner. What are you up to today? I was showing how to separate your atlas pages, for example, to have different skins separate and weapons on another page. And do you see Moo? Because I don't see her, unfortunately. So we can also ignore the things that we don't need. For example, let's say you have a folder with sketches or references that for some reason you're keeping all together with your spine project, and you can have all it here. So that's how you can do it. I hope that explained it, and I'll go back to drawing a little bit until someone else comes with some nice questions for me. So I'll discard these changes here, and where is this? Texture packing, yes, I'll close that. Oh, beautiful leg. And I'll resume these. Didn't know spine can do that? Yes, you can do it. So, what was I doing? That leg here? I don't know why I'm hungry now. I have nothing to eat. I ate rice, so I shouldn't be hungry. That's a video. That's great. If you make a new character, how would you go about referring to the weapons atlas? You just keep them separate in your folder organization, and that would be fine. You can see the disorganization. Okay, I'll show you, no problem. So I'll open spine again. You just, if it's a weapon that all the characters are going to use independently, you won't have it inside a skin, like in the goblins example. So I was about to say for example, so we have two skins here, right? And they are holding the same weapons. If I deselect the skin, I just see the weapons. Or what's enough, you could also have this one here, for example, in the skin. Like some characters have this weapon in a certain way, some other characters have a weapon in drawn in a different way, maybe. Like she has a golden dagger, the other one has a mortal dagger of some other kind. But you still want the weapons to be all in the same atlas. Then what you would do is you create a skin placeholder for this dagger here, and have the dagger inside her skin, but in the organization of the file, so in here the folder, you have all the weapons grouped in a single folder on your computer, so that you can pack them together with the texture packer. That's what I would do, at least. So I have a nice folder for my weapons, another nice folder for a skin, another nice folder for a different skin, and so on and so forth. So that's what I would do. And if I'm going to draw weapons in Photoshop, I'll show you how to export these all these weapons so that they are together, they are already organized correctly, as we would need them later to use in Spine. Alright? So for now, I'll close this again. Discard changes. And here we are. I finished the water. I'll be right back. And that's awesome and so simple. No problem. As said, you can ask as many questions as you want. And I'm back. Talking so much dries my voice. I'm not used to hearing my voice so much. I'm so sorry about my voice, about stupid voice. By the way, yeah. Okay. So, let's tackle this boy. I was about to do his leg, and his leg had to look nice. I can do this. Transform. Now, I want to change the pivot of this. I don't know the pronunciation of anything. I'm so sorry. There. Well, I'm attempting to do something here. I'm not sure this is the right thing to do, but I'm doing it anyway. Yeah, I might leave it like this for now, and then add a tiny triangle for the feet, because yes. This could work. This part should be like, this part should be lower, and this let me try to fix that. But if I'll try to fix that, then the circle will be squashed, but I'll try to do that anyway and correct the circle. Oh my god, it's so hot. So, oh, this was fun here, I don't know. Not out. Oh, I know, I could resize it and make the whole leg smaller. Okay, so that's where I'd want the foot to be, and here is the middle of the character where his nose is. Is it the middle? More or less, yes. it was like this. I made it slightly smaller. I'm saving. I don't know if you can hear my computer, but it's heating a lot. One day I won't have this problem anymore. It will be a beautiful day. I might leave it like that. Where's my skeleton, dude? It was here. Okay, I want the basic joints to correspond also on this guy here. So I'm lowering the opacity for this, yeah. Just recolor it for now. For example, in white. Yes, so that I see it. Oh well, that's something that I can correct anyway later. So this was more correct when I did it earlier, which means that was correct. Okay, then if it's like this, I'll redo what I just did and make the skeleton white. And I'll lower the opacity of the skeleton. Okay, deselect. Okay, so that I can use it as a reference. It's much cooler here today now. Oh, you're lucky. I really wish it would rain as it said it would on the weather forecast, but it's not raining. And I'm melting. So I'll do the joints for these parts here. Let's try to make the joints the same dimensions. So for example, here it's where we are to have another joint. I'll go here and I'll make this ball. Then I'll duplicate this layer. I'll hide the first one and I'll make another one here. Alright, so I have my arm, first arm, and then I'll hide this because I have the second arm, and I'll make this smaller here. Total. You looking good at melting, Erika? Oh, thanks. I also like your hairstyle look today. Back to the tops. It's a hairstyle for when it's so hot I can't stand having my hair around. Thanks. You're the only one that notices when I do hairstyles. And I'll also make, so right now I'm using black white color because it doesn't really matter what color I choose. Then I'm going to apply the colors that I'll set in the palette so that it will be a flexible solution. So here I have this dot. Actually I can make, okay. Damn hand. Well, I'm just painting the hand randomly right now because it's our very basic puppet. So I'm doing one side and then I'm going to replicate it by flipping it on the other side. And I'm doing all of this side for now. So what I wanted to do is, yeah, maybe do the eyebrow. Not working because I need to do it here. Oh, and now it's working. So I'll use the black. I'll go back to my Lazy Nezumi massive smoothing, so that. Oh, but I wanted his eyebrows to be this way. The mystery of eyebrows. I wish I had eyebrows like that though. Instead of invisible ones. Okay, so I'll save. And maybe I'll try to sketch his eye. I want to do something more anime. Oliver, age 24. Are you still 24, Oliver? Oh, you're the company that makes Spine? Yeah. Hi, Oliver. I'm Erika. I usually answer on the forum on editor questions. I'm making art assets right now. Oh, I can do it. Why do you have a special colored badge with a V next to it? Who? Yeah, you may not know me if you haven't used Spine. Okay, I'll take a moment before redrawing it for the 100th time. I'll draw something else. It's useless to stay blocked on something when lol, no, I was miming on Sucks program. Oh, sorry. I know many memes, but I didn't know this one. I totally missed the joke. Sorry. That struggle to have everything in a precise way and then you can't do it. So I also wanted to do, I want a perfect body. It's a new meme, sorry. Okay. What's the V thing next to it? It's the first time I see it. Oh, by the way, this is for everyone who just connected. If you have any question regarding Spine, as you may have seen if you tuned in earlier, I'm glad to answer whatever question and demonstrate if you have any. So don't be afraid to ask if it's within my knowledge. Means I'm a Twitch partner. Oh, it's just something I was thinking. I think we got the invite, but we didn't do it. Not for partnering, or maybe yes. Affiliate, partner, I'm not tuned in on how that works. So you must stream a lot. Very curious about the flow to get Spine into Unity, which means I have to learn Unity or convince Farhan to do it. If that's how you pronounce it, Farhan. Sorry, Farhan. So that's one option, but the girl body ought to be different. So imagine this is the girl body, needs to be bigger. Or like this. this, but it has to have the same touch points. Sorry, I didn't yet think about this, so I'm experimenting right now on how to best do it. Yeah, I want to know this too. You're curious about the flow? Ah, yeah. You know what? I'll eventually get to that. But there's a channel that does this, which is probably the only one that I'm following. It's from a Spanish boy that does Twitch streams here, and he implements Spine into Unity. Using Spine with Unity could be a whole other set of streams. Yeah, I'm not qualified to do them yet. I need to learn Unity first, since I always do artist things or use the editor. That's something I should learn. Let's see, I'm trying to do a slightly female body, which is, it looks like a pear basically, but what's important is about the joints. So if I deactivate, where did this parts go? Ah, here it is. So this could work. Okay, so I'll work like this instead. We need to make sure that the joints are all in place. I'll just lower the opacity and try to get a generic, something generic, yeah. So let's see, I can get this here. Therefore, I will need something that goes the exact opposite way. No massive smoothing. Oh. Hope this will be enough. Okay, so I will for sure need that. If this was here, the other one should be around here. And then I'll have to fill in that part. Actually, I liked to be able to do this, so I'll duplicate this layer and hide it and work on a copy. Are you all finished with your house painting? What about an egg-shaped body? Yeah, I was thinking about that. And I did one. You know what? I'm getting tangled for nothing, I know. I'm trying to get this to look the best possible way. Slightly smaller. Okay. And is it the same height? No. Yeah, I'll just leave it empty. I'll get one side, okay, and then I'll flip the other one and copy it. Oh my. It might mean that I need so this could work for the female body probably, although this part here, it's so large. But it could work. So I'll make the male body now, just more of a straight potato thing. actually don't need this here, but I do for that. I can get maybe this part here to stay closer, since we're talking about RPG proportions after all. Oh yeah, regarding your question about house painting, no, I'm not finished yet with painting the house, so I can't yet set up the new studio or anything. I'll finish maybe this weekend. I don't know about the others. Weirdly enough, a lot of people were house painting at the same time. Okay, I'll get this small. Trying to make it curved. Looks okay, but his legs maybe are too small, I don't know. Maybe they should be fatter. Or for one character, it could work. I'm not sure. Then here we have this, and this. Yeah. I'll move them. So they could stay like this, which would make sense too. Okay. Then again, I might resize them and make them slightly smaller. So that they are not so long. It would make sense for them to reach to the butt and stop there. Well, anyway, this is looking bad for now, but getting the joints right and everything so that I can bend, it's important. So that's why I'm doing this super ugly thing at the moment. I'll move to something else. Do you also get bored or too nervous to continue a piece so that you have to switch to something else in order to not get blocked? Where was my sketch? Oh, it was here. Maybe I would prefer to do the skeleton guy, I don't know. Regarding the eye, now I remember why I switched from the eye. Oh, that's good. Alright. Then, so that's one. Then the eye. And the magic of smoothing that makes everything looks great. Oh yeah. is a sketch here. Ah, it's a good looking eye. Can be. So then of course I'll need the white reflex. Okay. Pressure. I give up. I'll try another method. Could look better. I'll leave it that for now. From afar, it looks like it's consistent. Oh, are you familiar with Creature software? I've seen them comparing the total work time between Creature and Spine in YouTube 2 days ago. Yeah? Like, hello, Lopez 1993. New Lopez. Or Lopez. Or I don't know. So, here's my guy. Regarding that Creature video, it's not like you can do much like professional things in Creature, so I don't know. I'll have a look at that video if you want to link it privately. But if you've seen how I work, you'll know that working in Spine doesn't take that much time. Okay. Oh. We'll need also some hair level in the front or something like that. Also different shapes and kinds of eyes, because yes, so this white should be behind. And what did I do with this? So I'll move this down behind the head. So it will look better. Then the ear should also, this is the ear, yes, be behind the head, somewhere like this. Then save. Then it could be a Buddhist monk or something. How are you doing, Ann Lopez, who wrote hello? I could add a little bit of shading to this, but not before I have things on his face. So let's see. I have the basic shapes and I have the basic elements. This could be as basic elements. I should be done with that part. I could refine the body, but I'm deciding to leaving the body outside for now. I'll refine the head instead. Creature is interesting, but some of the things that they promote, like dual quaternion skinning, aren't supported yet on mobile platform, at least not the last time I checked. Yeah, that's the main problem. Their skins for their meshes are basically agreed that I don't know what you can do with them. It's not very user friendly. I tried to use it and I couldn't. Don't know what else to say. So let's set something interesting on this. I have the skin base color. Let's get another color in town. So I'll duplicate this. And then I'll call this skin shade. Let's set skin shade to this color, or this color, yeah, this color. And then transform it into a, where is it? Smart object. Where's skin shade? Aha, okay. Since this is now a smart object, I can duplicate this layer, and then move it outside, and this resize it so that it matches the other one. And I press OK, and then select this and move it into the head group here, and then create a clipping mask, transform, move it so that it covers the head entirely, save, and then make a mask. Oh no, I did the wrong mask. And then paint over this with the wrong color. So it works, but I actually wanted to do something different. This is ugly. I'll get this slightly harder. I do like seeing animation curves in the timeline though. Yeah, we'll eventually have that as well in Spine. I agree they would be very useful. What am I doing? This pink is too pinkish. I'll change it later. Oops. Hello from America. Finally caught your stream? Oh. There must be an incredible delay. Also because I saw your message too late. How are you doing? Are you on our Discord? The unofficial Discord, or? Are you someone new with that nickname that I don't recognize? What? I am new. I just bought Spine a couple weeks ago. Love it so far, but I'm still learning. Oh, I see. I'm drinking so much. I'll have to fix this later. It's too pink, and I also have to see it with everything inside, so it still looks really, really bad. Oops. And I still haven't sketched the various little people that we can meet. So flat with the red. I'm not convinced about this style of coloring, so I might change it. Anyway, if you have any questions or doubts about Spine, write them and I'll answer in a very short time. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Oh, here I'm reading. As creature is a competitor, my opinions can help but be heavily biased. Still, for what it's worth, I do think they have some neat functionality with Mars physics. It's something we have always planned to do and will get to at some point. That said, it can be overused and the quality of automated animations is often quite low. Yeah, I also think Spine excels at UI usability and workflow with skin slots, etc. in the editor, as well as taking your animations from the editor to the runtimes. Agreed. Although I don't like their way of creating meshes anyway, that grid doesn't make sense to me. I like the control where you can place the points where you want instead of having a grid that you're randomly editing. So, you know what? I'll stop from doing this guy again because I want to show you something that you'll find interesting, and that's the update bindings function, because someone in the last weeks was asking how exactly update bindings works, right? So I'll create a small project for that. Let's see, new. Alright, oh, we're there. Yeah, on A4 it's fine. I'll create something very quick. So let's see. Let's say I have a guy. I have to pick a color. I don't know which color. Pick blue? Okay. So let's say we have two poses, two very different poses. Oh, the grid is fast to create, but results in dense meshes. Yeah, which means more processing at runtime, they stated. Ah, wonderful update binding question. Yeah. So I'll show it in practice, also because I actually discovered that you can update the bindings during an animation, which I haven't even thought about earlier. So I'll show you this trick. I tried another competitor, any portrait? Oh, I don't know about that. Before finding my way to Spine, they also have modern physics functionalities. The problem with it is that it lacks a level of predictability and can actually start becoming destructive. Oh, I see. So, that's problematic. Okay, I have my smoothing. It can be just subtle. I'll just have a guy here. Well, let's have it solid. It needs to have solid opacity. Okay. So that's our beautiful guy. Professional. And okay, that's the pants. And what will change is his upper part. That will be a lighter blue. Wanted to make it. Yeah. So, I'll make it a poncho, since the poncho is another one of those things that people were talking about. So let's say this is okay, the body of the guy. Let's also give him a face and arms. Let's make something easy with the arms. Ooh, I can't even draw a straight line. Well, that's for demonstration purposes, okay? Disclaimer. So let's say he has this. I have to align it better. And we'll have some complicated clothes on him, like a famous poncho. So the poncho is like this here, but then he raises the arm like this, and the poncho needs to have weights. We'll have two alternate images for that poncho. I'll make that poncho. Oh, can't I change color? Yes. In a nice yellow. So one version of it will be like this. Motor physics can make animations non-deterministic. When a pose depends on previous frames, it's hard to say give me the pose at 360 67 milliseconds and get the same result every time. It's a tricky problem. Yeah. Okay. So he has Poncho. Just to make our life difficult, we'll also add some decorations on the Poncho. So like this. So we will. No, it's not a cute poncho, it's just an example. Now you're trolling me, I know. So, in another pose, I'll make a copy of this just for the sake of making copies. So I'll duplicate the layers, transform, change the row here, take it up. So in another pose, he's like this, okay? And he'll have a different poncho. So I'll deactivate it here. And the poncho will be, where is it? Here. How is it? It was like this. That's the back of the poncho. And it's doing this. For when he raises a gun. Yeah, I'll print a gun on that. Now I'll fill this part. I'll use that red that I was using earlier. And something here also will need to be different. But then I don't need to redraw that part of the poncho. I basically have another piece. Yeah, and I'll have also the back of the poncho. I have a question. Yeah, please tell about the question. Why does my copied frame differ sometimes from the original? I need more context. What is a copied frame and where did you copy it? Are you talking about a frame in spine, maybe? And is it an attachment? Is it a mesh? Transform. I'll just flick this horizontally. Yeah. And then I'll make it darker. I filter, image adjustments, hue saturation. Perfect. So I should have all the needed pieces. I'm missing something. Yeah, this part is wrong. Or not. No, it's not wrong. It should be more like this. Oh, it's taking too much time. I wanted to make it quick, but I also wanted to think about that. That's Poncho. Okay, it's here. Unblock. Oh. Or maybe not. I'll just leave it like that. Do you mean key? I will copy the first frame from an animation to make a loop and it will have slightly different. Oh, I know what's the problem about. It's probably because you have some keys in the middle that you didn't, maybe for timelines that you didn't have in the first pose. Oh, I'll show you in a bit. Remind me to answer this. So, let's say this is fine. I'll also paint a gun for the guy here. Make a very advanced gun, which you'll see in a bit. Let's use gray so you know it's a gun. Oh yes, like children. Now, regarding the face, no, it's fine. So this is our guy. I just have to rename parts. These two, I can delete them. Yeah. And what I wanted to also do? Yeah, I'll also do these. So let's say this guy has a face here. I'll make the face red. Make the face like this. And he has a mustache. And then he also has a profile. So he could be, it's getting advanced. Duplicate layer. And in this one, I'll lock the opacity. Oops, oh, I duplicated the wrong layer. So here's the head. I know what I did. I don't know why it gets muted at some point. Muted count 2. But what did I touch? I didn't touch anything. So that would be a huge help because I ended up making a bunch of tiny alterations to try to get the frames to look the same so it looks smoothly. Yeah, I'll show you. It's actually a very quick fix that it's actually very easy. So let me rename this stuff. So this is Poncho back. This is feet. This is body. This is, what is this? What is this? Ah, that's the head. Okay, so this is head profile. Weird. Ah, okay. So this is the head front. Okay, I'll rename this. Head front. Head profile. And I'll place them, can deselect, in a group that I'll call slot head, so that I'll have them already placed in a logical way. Then this is the arm up. This will be arm down, yeah. Then this is the gun. I probably have to turn it upside down. I'll call these Poncho. I'll call this Poncho too. Okay. Yeah. Then this is the Poncho, and this is the Poncho out. Okay, so I save, then I set the lines here like this, then I change the ruler origin to match this. I save, then this is 33%. 30% is actually fine for export, so for file scripts, Photoshop to spine, and I'll change the scale so that it's 30%. I can add a padding of 2, yeah, and I'll export. I'll open spine. Oh no. Then, okay, I'll open Poncho. Yeah, it exported. Great. So I have images. I'll click OK here, and I'll drag it so that you can see. I'll move myself so that I'll be here in the other corner, and here I'll create a new project like this. So new project, import, yeah, great, wow, dramatic zoom, and I have my Poncho guy exactly like I did in Photoshop. Okay, now I'll do this. So that's the alternate frame, which I'll deactivate for now. I'll create a rig very quickly, so I won't even rename the bones. Let's see, I'll have this. Here I'll have these here. Oh, bones are invisible. And then also have here. Oh, by the way, if you don't know already, it's very convenient. Instead of creating bones like this, I'll go back, I redo that. I select the bone first, then I press Control, so I'm pressing Control. Don't know if you can see it. Now you can see it, even if I'm pressing Control. So I'm holding Control, and then I select the image, which is now selected. You can see the outlines. Yeah, but I didn't want to actually select that image, so I'll press Control and deselect it. So first I select the parent bone. Hi Erika Gaming. Then I'll select the body, because I wanted to create a body bone, and it's much easier to create a bone now because I see the outline of that. I'll create it like this, and you can see that the bone is already named body, and it has the slot body as a child, which is pretty convenient. And we'll create more bones now. So I'll select this, and I'll create the bone here, and I'll select this one here, and I'll create another bone here. Great. Then, and you can see that it has a radius to those two, although I could also select this, and then select this and this, and the first one is the image that will give the name to our bone newly created, as you can see. So now it has arm down and gun as children. Why is your binding box adopted? Because I'm in the beta version. I think that's pretty helpful to know if you're running the wrong version of Spine, having dotted instead of solid. So that's that, and I wanted to create also a control for the head, so I'll select the body here, then I click on the head, and then I'll create here the bone, and then I wanted to have a control, for example, for the head to move it in the famous 3D way, etc, etc. Alright, so I'll do this. I'll change the head here to the front version. In the middle of the nose, I'll create this, which I'll head control. Okay, so I'll save. Oh, I never saved. So I'll call this Poncho again. Poncho it is. And now that it's saved, is that a Chihuahua or is it a Corgi? I have to look. Ah, yeah, it's a Corgi. So after that, we'll have to rig the Poncho. So I rig it in a rather cheap way. Or actually, you would want to rig the Poncho this way. You select here, it ends up at the arm, so you'd want a control here for the Poncho, like this, that is a child of the arm. Then you want another control here. We don't have the arm, so we'll leave it like that. And then for sure we want another control here, but in this case we can have a control like this to move the Poncho around, turn it, etc. So I'll call it Poncho middle and save. So what we're going to do is we'll first rig this Poncho and also this face very quickly. So I'll turn this into a mesh and then select new, edit mesh, and we'll create a quick mesh to edit this part. Say we want to have his head turn from frontal to side view, okay? So we'll do this. I'll actually might add just some points. No, I'll do a new one. But in this case, it's actually pretty easy to do it. I'm just getting out. Oh, I'll do it like this. And then remove this point. And then we'll need to create the parts here. So for example, we'll get the mustache out. Well, there's not much, so at least this is easy. And then we would want something to preserve the borders here. Yeah, it should be fine. And then here, I'm creating a middle line because there was a line that was connecting directly from this point to this point. And here I have the same problem. Here lines come across, so I'll do this. And let's say this is a mesh. Okay, I'm extremely simplifying things right now. So what I'll do is then I bind this here and here. I'm not making the super advanced head turn, but I'm just trying to demonstrate something right now. So I go in animate mode, and from here I move this here. Yeah, of course, Spine tried to calculate the weights automatically, which is very nice of Spine, but in this case it's not useful for us. So I'll go in weights mode, I'll select all of the weights and get them back to the head, and instead I'll select the weights that I want to be influenced more by head control, like this. Yeah, and since if I do this, it breaks the whole image, I'll create an animation that goes just like this bone here, and I'll make it go this way so that I can test it more easily. I can go to an in-between here, for example, and change the weights. Now I know more or less that I want these weights to come, for example, here. Oops. Here, this also to 100%. Here too. Now I'm making this quick example of, so I hope you'll understand even if I'm not making it perfect. Yeah, when it's at the extreme here, the face is going out. We don't want that actually. So I'll select this 4, I'll lower the intensity of these, I'll lower the intensity of this too, so that it stays inside. Also I want head control to be in front, so that when these overlaps, the vertices, head control is the one that will have more influence. Yeah, okay, it's super ugly, but it just needs to get a point across, so I won't refine it too much. So, let's say that we have a 3D face, and then we have another face, like when it reaches this part, I want, instead of it having this image, I want to replace with the profile, and I want to control the profile a little bit, okay? So, here I am. Maybe I want this to be exactly here on the tip of the nose, so that I can move the nose around. Now on the profile it's maybe not working that much, but let's say you have a frontal version and a 3/4 version of the image. It could happen, and you want to reuse the same control. Now normally first we'll get this to have the same bones to influence it. So, yeah, we have to make it a mesh, edit the mesh, let's make a new mesh. Now I'm improvising on this because I actually didn't have a plan to rig this in a decent way. So I'm just placing random points right now. And let's say I have, yeah, a point here, 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 and then the points that isolate the borders, more or less like this. This here, okay, great. So I close here, and then I bind this always to this bone, but I don't move it in setup mode. We never move bones that we liked or that we already bound to some other bones in setup pose, if we can. And then we bind it to another bone that we didn't move, and I'll explain why in a bit. It wasn't needed, so I could actually not bind it to that third bone. So it's head and head control. So right now we have this completely influenced by head, but head control. But if I instead change the bindings so that it's 100% head, you see that it's the mesh, and this is important, the mesh is not influenced by the bone that we moved, okay? So what we do now is we click update bindings. What it does is, and I'll show you, when we are in setup mode and we change the weights, we see that the vertices stay in place. The same thing happens if we're at the beginning of the animation where we haven't moved the bones. Nothing happens. If we move here, when we move one of the bone that is bound to the mesh, then the mesh will move with it. But what if we want to take this as the first position? Then what we do is we click update bindings when we are here on this frame, right on this frame, update bindings, and now when we move this, you see that it's not moving anymore. Well, if we go back to the middle part. Now this point is following, because this is the new, this new position is the one that says the bones were saved like this. Okay, so that's what makes it powerful. I change the weights. I'm doing something very random. Yeah, I also have to change head back like this, so that here it changes, and you can do this very weird movement. Now, of course, this is just an example, but it's to demonstrate that you can mesh two different things using the exact same bones without having to have a separate control for this mesh, okay? So, regarding the poncho, we're going to make the same thing. Is there a way to reverse the update bindings if you change your mind? Yes! Like I click them here, I can select, I'll go back to the head here. Okay, I'll go back to animate mode. I'll try to reverse it. I remember that I did it on frame 14. I was trying to say 14 and 15 at the same time. So I'll select here everything. I have to change the weights because if I update the bindings when it's here, the mesh is wrecked, right? So I'll go here. I'll change the weights all to the head like this, and then I'll go back to 0 and press update bindings again. And now if I go back to frame 14, you see that this happens. So we reversed what we just did, okay? And that's it. I hope the update bindings, at least on this, is clear, but I'll make one more example. Yeah, perfect. That beautiful face deformation. So I'll go back here. And I wanted to rig the poncho. So I'll quickly show you an example of poncho rigging. That's what that does. Yeah, that's it. So mesh, edit mesh, new mesh. Here. I'm making this fairly easy because you can start with less points, and if you need, add more points later rather than adding a random bunch of points just for the sake of adding them. So we have these, and then I create the points that I actually need. So let's say I need a point here, so that it can bend in a nice way. Here I'll do the same, and then here at the same height of that one, I'll create more points. Now this was a bad position for that. I'll create 2 more points. Make sure that I enclose the mesh, and then I'll create, for example, one here, so that it preserves the drawing that we have here. And okay, so I'll quickly rig the poncho because I feel it's always good to rig something complicated for people that might have no idea how to rig them. So we'll bind it to the body because these parts are not going to be moved. And then I said this control is a child of the arm, but it's separate from the arm, so you can move it and have some nice secondary motion effects where it detaches from the arm, for example. And here another one, and I'll bind it. Now in this case, Spine should have done a good job. So if we move the arm like this, it follows, Yeah. If we move this part here, it also follows and deforms nicely. If we need to make the poncho do this, it does it. Now I see that there are too many weights. Okay, too many influences, useless influences. So we'll have to do a small cleanup on this. We'll prune first, removing the weights that are less than 5.5. 17 weights. This just made the animation lighter. Then we'll fix this because the body will have way more influence here. Okay, also raise the influence on this. Great. Body here too has a lot of influence. And then what it was this? Okay, what is this? Can lower the influence of this. Great. Now I save, and as said, so we're going to make the animation where what have I done to this dude? Where he raises the arm, so it goes from here to here. Oh, what? I already did that? No, I didn't. So it goes from straight to this. Yeah, the pistol is in reverse, as I expected. Whatever, he's a very macho, he holds the gun like this. And for this part, we'll need the other poncho, and that's where we'll activate Poncho alternative, and we'll need to bind this Poncho alternative to the bones, but in this position. So we'll use this trick. We'll activate Poncho alternative, we'll mesh it. So of course, this pose is not present in setup pose, right? So edit mesh, new mesh, and I'll create my poncho here. I'm keeping it super simple. Okay, then here I'll add a point, here another point, here another point, so it encloses the drawing here, and I can close this. The mesh is done for what we need. He triggers it with his little finger. Yeah, he's like this. No, he's actually holding a gun like this, which is very common among criminals or something. Then we want to control this poncho for it to be bound to the body and to the arm here. Or we could have a separate control for that. He doesn't have fingers. Yeah, of course, Fabiano. So I'll bind it. Oh, in this case, I'll just directly bind it to the... But to do the things correctly, I would do it this way. I'll try to do it like this. I'll select here, and I'll create the bone here. So in animate mode, it needs to be slightly more up. Yeah, it can be fine. So what we're going to do is we bind this poncho to the body, which is not going to move for now. Then we bind it. Oh, now that I look better, neither the gun has a trigger. Yeah. So the body, I selected the body. Then I select this control here, which will control the poncho. And that's it for now, yeah. So I'll go to animate mode, and this happens. Okay, so first we get the poncho to have a normal position like this. Okay, so we got it back. Then we press update bindings here, where we have this bone in the correct position, update bindings. And now, if we change the weights here, so that this is influenced by arm down, see, it now follows correctly, and even in setup pose. So we can now adjust this to look decent. Now I'm not going to fix it super correctly, but that's just so you know that this is something that can be done, okay? Oh, this, I can't leave it. Less, okay. So you can do it like this for poses. I didn't have to change this up pose. I got this to be bound to the right bones where I needed it. And that's how update bindings can be useful for you, and how it can really change your workflow. It's super. But you have to be smart about this and bind it to a bone that you know that you're not editing to do this, okay? So you can get all the poses that you need, like even different torso position or stuff. You just remember at which frame you did things. You have a useless bone that you're not moving in the setup, so that you can get the bones in the correct positions, and that's it. Now, did I forget something? No, I guess I explained everything that I wanted to explain about this example. So I know it's not perfect, but I wanted to get a point across, which I hope got across. And now I can go back to my, where is it? Not the Poncho guy, which I'll finally close, but this, or I could call it a stream. Everything was okay until you said you need to use the brain. I'll never be able to use it. No! It's fine, it's easy, it's actually easy. I hope this was useful. I think it's very interesting, and it's a great improvement to the workflow. Okay. So hot, and I almost finished the water again. So I'll be right back again until I decide if I want to go on with this. If you have any questions, this is a good moment to get your questions, because I'll answer them after I come back, okay? Hi, I'm back. So I'll read the comments. Do you have an example of frontal to 3/4 phase shift transition? No, I don't. But I might actually make one at some point. I was just curious to see how it bends and how it turns out. I agree, it's an interesting project to do. Probably do it at some point. Suggestion. I suggest a direct software to make more specific titles when uploading these on YouTube. One could never imagine that these assets for RPG games you're showing so many things. Yeah, I should change the title of this one. Usually I'm specific and I show what I'm telling about. Because the main focus of this was to create assets for an RPG. But I guess I'll add a subtitle or a title next to the title so that it's like attempting to make RPG things but also answering a lot of questions in this very specific stream. Yeah, it's a good suggestion. How stable is the current beta version? I'd like to use it, but I don't want to keep switching between the beta and production versions. And agree about the title. Yeah, how stable it is? It should be like it depends on what runtime you're working with. Like, I know that if you're using libgdx, you can always use the beta, almost always, because it's the very first runtime that things are made for. So with that, you're easy peasy. While for Unity, if you're using Unity, which is the second most popular, you have to check on the repo or try to ask for Ran, because he's the one that implements things. Now, since the major things that were added are just the stretchy keys, I guess, and expert improvements are just are generic, so they shouldn't influence runtime much at all. Like, it's mostly for GIFs and video exports, so that's not really a problem. I think it's probably compatible with the beta without having beta or beta, I don't know. It should be compatible and you shouldn't have problems. Regarding how stable it is, stable means that it's full of bugs, probably. That's your question. We try to keep it always bug free. As soon as we find a bug, we update, like we did for any other version of Spine, so that shouldn't worry you too much. Depends. You can always freeze to a version that doesn't have problems. While I don't know, there probably is another meaning to your question, or did I answer? Or maybe chapters at least. Yeah, I'll probably add chapters to this stream, because this stream was very rich with useful information. So, but usually when I just do streams where I do a single thing, there isn't that much of a need to do these things. Yeah. Okay. Keeps being hot and it still hasn't rained. And that's a disappointment. Like, there's not even many clouds in the sky. You answered. I'm concerned about the compatibility with runtimes mostly. Yeah, it depends on the runtime. You can ask on the forum for the specific runtime that you're using. Like, I'm pretty sure that Unity and libgdx are the first that get the updates, but as said, it's always safer to check on the repos or on the forum, and I'm sorry, I don't know it. That's it. Yeah, so do I want to keep trying to get this guy a style? You know what? I'll just draw a skull, since I want to attempt doing at least one not cute thing for him, and then I'll finish the stream. And that's it for today. Ah, I kept clicking and nothing was changing. Okay, so I'll just lower the opacity of the head base, and I'll activate also the ear. I don't need it. And I'll activate the skull so that you'll have a little more time to ask questions if you have any, since next week there won't be a stream, but it will be just the week after that. So I at least want to do this. Aha, that's the skull. I'll paint over this. For the pleasure of painting skulls that are totally not cute, and who says that they are cute is lying. There's my lazy Zumi. Bye, puppy. Oh, see you on Discord. Bye. I might just call it a stream, since a lot was done today, but not much on this poor guy. We'll resume the poor guy next time. Yeah, I might do it for next time, also because I just noticed that I drew the skull and it's not symmetrical, and I have to fix it. So yeah, we'll have to do some interesting things in this, so I can't wait till this is ready to animate, because this will be a lot of fun too. And also when this will be ready, will be fine as well. But I'm starting to feel tired. So I guess I'll finish the stream maybe now, yeah, for today. I was trying to save. Okay, deselect, save, perfect. So yeah, thanks for keeping me company, and next time I'll again try to do the guy, but I want you to know that you can interrupt and make me explain things in Spine whenever you want. And I hope you'll have great holidays if you're in Europe, or where it's not so hot that you, yeah, where it's so hot that you have to go on vacation. And see you next time. Bye bye.